Working as a journalist in Iraq has never been harder. More than 200 media and media support staff, most of them Iraqis, have been killed since 2003. Dozens more have been kidnapped or arrested. Richard Rowley and David Enders took a look at the dangers of working as a journalist in Baghdad.
At a press conference in Najaf, south of Baghdad, an Iraqi cameraman inadvertently demonstrates how dangerous it is to work as a journalist here. Most foreign journalists find it impossible to work without private security guards or embedding with the U.S. military. The cost of working here and the lack of U.S. public interest in news from Iraq means the number of foreign journalists has shrunk dramatically since 2003.
This is our newsroom.
The Hummer Hotel, which is heavily guarded by blast walls and private Iraqi security, is one of the last two places Western journalists in Baghdad live outside the green zone.
Well, when I first started doing television here, which was in the late 90s when I opened the bureau as first permanent bureau chief for CNN here, you were followed everywhere, your freedom of movement was restricted. It was really incredibly hard to verify a single fact. And we've kind of gone back, in a sense, to that same kind of dynamic. There are a lot of places I can't go to unless I'm with the military. The thing that most of us feel it's our duty to do is to talk to people ourselves, is to see things ourselves, and then evaluate the information and give the most accurate, fullest picture of what it is we're reporting. A lot of times we can't do that anymore. If you see a byline in the newspaper, if you see a face on television, that doesn't automatically mean that the person was there. And as an old school journalist, I tend not to trust anything unless I've seen it myself or unless someone I trust has seen it themselves. Let's take an example. Something blows up, we call the Iraqi police. We would hope that the Iraqi police officer we're talking to would be in a position to know what's going on, and we go to great pains to make sure that we're talking to the right Iraqi police officer. I'm not sure that happens all the time. It's really hard to evaluate, again, who they are or whether they know the information that they're telling you. So it's just one step removed. In fact, it's more than one step. It's probably 3 or 4 steps removed from the kind of reporting that most of us are used to doing. It's really hard to do those stories you'd think would be really simple, you know, to show people how Iraqis are living, to go into an Iraqi home and say, this is Fatma, and here's what she's cooking for dinner, and this is how they're dealing with not having electricity. To do that, we would have to take our security team, put some poor person in danger because we're now surrounding their house with security and obviously Western vehicles. And it's dangerous for us, and it's dangerous for them. We can do it in little bits at a time, and we can do it in snapshots, but we can't really do it the way we used to be able to do it 2 years ago.
هذه غرفة النوم مالتي اللي أنا أعيش فيها، كمبيوتر. اتصل بي شخص مساء قال لي أنت حسين؟ قلت له نعم أنا حسين. قال لي حسين اترك العمل، أنت تشتغل بمؤسسات أجنبية وهاي المؤسسات مو صحفية، هاي مؤسسات تابعة للمخابرات دول أجنبية. فاترك العمل أحسن لك وإحنا نعرف عنك كل شيء، وإذا ما تترك العمل إحنا ممكن ناخذ إجراءاتنا. قلت له أوكي. بعدها بيوم طلعت من البيت متجه العملي براديو الناس. كنت يعني أقود سيارتي، فلاحظت أكو سيارة خلفي تتابعني، فسويت نفسي يعني السيارة مكسورة مالتي بيها مشكلة، فاضطريت أوقف يم السيطرة إلى أن السيارة عدت علي. بقيت تقريبا 3-4 ساعة. بعدها طلعت للعمل، السيارة بعد ما شاهدتها وصلت للعمل، بقيت هناك بالعمل. ثاني يوم يوم الجمعة كان نفس الشيء، اتصل بي نفس الشخص. إمكانيات أنت تعرف يعني إذا أريد أروح أعيش في سوريا أو أعيش بأي بلد يراد لك مبلغ يعني مو أقل مبلغ كبير يعني حتى توفر احتياجات العائلة.
Just thinking that, you know, if somebody did want to get in, this might be a little bit harder for them to get in. Don't film that. Yeah, I've been coming in and out since June 2005. It's really different. Actually, the first time I came in, we could still go out to lunch, we would go shopping regularly, do touristy things, take a boat ride across the river, go see the Kadamiya shrine. Now it's, where are you going? Stay 20 minutes. How are we going to do the route? Cover your hair. You know, I didn't even cover my hair in Baghdad. This used to be a very, very secular society for women. under Saddam, people would wear miniskirts, and slowly, as the new democratic government came into power, women have had to cover up more and more. I've tried to blend into everywhere I go and also be nondescript so people don't notice us. We try to look like families. We'll put a woman in each car so that people are less likely to stop us. It's now a series of borders and boundaries. So I can't even send Muhammad or Sahad, who speak perfect Arabic, are from this country, from this capital, to every neighborhood in Baghdad. They can only go to 1 or 2 neighborhoods each, depending on their sect and where they're from. We just have to pick and choose what we can actually tell the truth about. You know, it might be that I know somebody in one specific neighborhood in Baghdad. I know that the Mahdi army is pushing Sunnis out of that neighborhood. If this is what's happening here, what's happening in the rest of the capital that I can't get to? So we just shine a tiny light on whatever we can do. We're a much smaller press corps than we ever were, so of course there's less coverage of Iraq. For the biggest story in the world, the most important story for U.S. foreign policy, and there's maybe 20, possibly 30 foreign journalists here right now. Because of the way I look and because of my interests, I do a lot more unilateral reporting. The few embeds I have gone on, you can feel that they try to guide you. Like, they have a story to tell, and they want to take you to the places that tell that story. So I think they try to guide you, and you have to decide what you feel is truthful and what you feel isn't. Sometimes I don't feel like a reporter here. I feel like I go to press conferences in the green zone. I listen to these people who I know don't know what's going on outside.